Thank you. Indeed, I'm Jānis Meirāns, and I'm an advisor to Vice Mayor on mobility issues. Today, I would like to talk about the cities as a driving force for sustainable transition. First of all, I would like to apologize a bit for the visuals or corporate identity of Riga City Council. It's a bit old school, but I hope that my speech will make up for the visuals. What I want to talk about is touch briefly on what is the Green New World, how we understand it, if we are on the same page, and where it will take us. The next topic will be about where we want to be, when and why. And of course, the primary subject is about the role of the cities in this sustainable transition. The most part of my speech will be, of course, about the opportunities for Riga and probably everyone else in light of this TechChill conference. And we will wrap up with the main challenges, because no success is made without the challenges. Let's move on. You can see lovely pictures from 1930. Would you call this a green new world, or maybe it's actually a green old world? My opinion is that somewhere along the way, it's the pictures from 1930s of Riga. If we would have a time machine, and if we would travel back there, would we consider that the green new world or the green old world? My understanding is that that actually was the green new world. The world with a lot of green space, with a sustainable transportation, and with a lot of greenery inside and outside the city. A lot of public space. So we have to answer to ourselves, is this actually a green new world, or is it just something that we actually forgot along these 100 years of development? Of course, a lot has changed. The technology that we have today is uncomparable to technology 100 years ago. But it's up to us to see what tech we can utilize for the good or for the bad. So, where we want to be and when? The short answer, of course, is yesterday. There's ever-growing pressure from the citizens, from the NGOs, from the politicians to move swiftly. The theme of the TechChill is point of no return, and we all have a feeling that we are slowly approaching this point of no return. And we need those actions to correct it quite swiftly. So we need action yesterday to bear the fruits tomorrow. There are a lot of challenges, or I would say everyone knows where we want to be. We want to have more inclusive green space, we have a better mobility, have cities for living, not just transit. But the main question is, how do we get there? This is not the unique challenge only for Riga. I think it's a common challenge for all the cities. Some cities deal with it better, some for worse, but still it's up to us to decide how we get there. Technology can play a significant role in getting us there. Of course, there's a nice saying in IT, garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have processes or the vision, no technology will help you to get there. So what is the role of the cities in sustainable transition? I would say that the cities can have multiple roles. I would just like to divide them into three options. The showstoppers, the city we saw 10 years ago. The city that just do what it does without clear vision or without involvement. The city can be an enabler, so they can actually allow companies and citizens to join the movement and at least not to stop them from contributing to getting to the sustainable future. But what we should strike for is to be a facilitator, the city that plays an active role in getting all the involved stakeholders, all the society, NGOs, all the companies and everyone who's in here, just to get the best options that we have. The cities interact with its citizens and visitors on a daily basis. So we have a lot of services. You can see it from safety, from mobility, I don't know, garbage, you name it. And of course, it's up to the city how it develops those services, and there's definitely a very lot of room for improvement in terms of sustainability. I would say that the starting point of the transition is vision. The city has to clearly know where it wants to be, why it wants to be there, and what are the goals. What is its ambition in terms of sustainability? Of course, no vision comes without a plan, because it's just a daydreaming. So we have to have a plan to how we will get there to support our vision. The plan without the processes is not going to work. We can see it daily on a city life that no matter how good is your plan, if you're not supported by this process that is efficient and working, we will not get there. And then, of course, there comes the result. We hopefully get there in a due time. So, and then the loop goes again and again and again. And I would call that a cooperation framework, which is very important. And the city is working hard to get to be more open to the citizens and get more out of all the opportunities that we have. And the vision takes time. The vision is very important, and the city is slowly updating its policy documents to clearly state where we want to be, why we want to be, and how we will get there. Opportunities. This is the next big block. Well, the opportunities will not work without the involvement, trust, and transparency. Because for the opportunities to realize, there has to be a trust. The trust between this government, the citizens, the companies that help government to realize their goals. The trust is not built on promises. The trust is built on work. And it takes a lot of time to build the trust. Yet the trust is not sufficient without the transparency. We had a lot of issues in the previous 10 years probably with the transparency, and the city now is working hard to provide the transparency so all the citizens know that their money is spent wisely. There's no shadow doing. The same goes for the companies, how we screen our partners and how we provide the equal opportunities to all involved parties. And of course the involvement. The city cannot function just on its own. It has to involve its citizens, NGOs, and other partners. We have to understand that this is how we work. We are not building the road for ourselves. We are building for the citizens, for all involved parties. And the last bit, not the last, but the opportunities. Of course, there are plenty of them. I will try to limit those just to the part of transportation. We have a data-driven decision-making. There's a lot of things going on. And the city, we have to be clear or honest, often doesn't know what's happening. The micromobility services, we have like 1,000 probably scooters on the streets, and the city has no clue where they're going, why they're going, and how they're going. The next big opportunity for the companies to provide their services, come and help city to fix the existing issues, is about the new automated fare payment system. We want it to be mass embedded from the very first day. We want to be a cross-platform working, so the citizens can choose with the one click to get from point A to point B. And this is where we see the companies could help us to get the best result. The next thing is smart traffic management. We're experiencing a lot of issues with the traffic in Riga, almost like every other city. And there's a lot of potential of smart traffic management to decrease the congestion, decrease the air pollution. Riga is bounded to implement a low emission zone by 2023 or 2027 from this period. And this is going to be a huge challenge, not only for the city, but also for the people and the visitors and everyone who uses the city. How we can implement this low emission zone in the most feasible and technologically smart way. Intelligent enforcement tools. This is the topic that's daily on our, let's say, minds, because Riga is infamous for its high casualty rate. We have a lot of people suffering casualties on the streets of Riga, unnecessary. And the people alone or the infrastructure alone will not be sufficient to fix it. So we would like to employ intelligent enforcement tools, be it a red light camera or the public transport lane enforcement camera. And this is a great opportunity to companies from from the innovative and smart companies to come and help city to achieve it. The next thing is the Riga metropolitan area transport system. We know that Riga is not living on her own. There are a lot of people coming and going from the city, and this will require a new routes, a new timetables, a new logic how the people move, how the service is allocated. And once again, this is something that the technological companies should be able to provide for Riga, help Riga in achieving this. Of course, no opportunities come without the challenges. And well, there are plenty of them in Riga, not only historical, but also probably new challenges that we don't even know about. I would say the first, the biggest, greatest challenge we have here is time. As I mentioned, the ever-growing pressure from citizens, from NGOs, is to implement changes yesterday. We don't have much time in terms of sustainability and climate neutrality to act, and this is the main issue that we'll have. But what it gives us an opportunity to work all together, just to achieve savings and the best ideas that we can implement swiftly. The next big challenge is attitude. Attitude both from the city and both from the citizens. The city has to understand that it works for the citizens. No change just for the sake of change. We have to listen to the people, to the citizens, to the visitors, and change our attitude that they are the part, not of the problem, but they are the part of the solution. Inertia. Oh, that's also a big issue, unfortunately. If you imagine that the city is a big ship, just to turn it around or just change a course slightly, that takes a lot of effort. The next challenge is the lack of common vision. We have more than 5,000 employees in Riga City Council, and it's really hard to get them to stay in one place. This is not going to be easy, and this lack of common vision, we need to develop a vision that is sound and understandable not only to employees, but to partners, to citizens, everyone involved. That will help us a lot to go where we want. The processes is another great challenge that we have today, not only today, but yesterday and probably also tomorrow. The process that's not fit on a paper or a daily base will not work with all the touch you have. So the first step for the city is understand how it's working, what can be cut off, and what can be improved. And then, only then, the technology can come and help us. The next thing that I'm very worried about is the fear of failure. We can see that the city has been reluctant to experiment, to actually try out. And in process of this trying and experimenting, the mistakes will be made. There's no doubt about it. So we have to be more open-minded on making small mistakes, learning from them, correcting them, and then making better decisions. And lastly, well, the budget. The budget is always a constraint. But this is the place where the technology companies can help city with the smart solutions, better solutions, saving money and providing better services. Thank you.